I'm with Valentina Clementelli
Yes.
from AVSI. Now, Valentina, what is AVSI?
AVSI was created in 1972, and the year after was right away recognized as a non-profit organization by the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs as an international non-governmental NGO. AVSI carries out development cooperation and humanitarian aid projects throughout the world. We work for a world where the person, aware of his or her own value and dignity, is the protagonist of the integral development within the community, even in crisis and emergency context. AVSI implements cooperation projects in a various sectors, with a preferential focus on education, meaning that the person is accompanied towards self-discovery and recognition that the other person is a resource. Each project is conceived as an instrument to promote this awareness in everyone involved, as in itself a need for communicating and sharing, and creates an impact capable of generating a positive change.
How many countries are you in around the world?
Actually, we are active in 32 countries, implementing 200 projects with the help of 1,700 staff and partnering with 700 civil society organizations. We have also a network of 34 organizations that help us to implement the projects.
Now you have offices here in Jerusalem. What projects do you run here in the Holy Land?
Currently, we have 4 active projects. Mustakbaluna, that means our future, is also our biggest project. It focuses on the working inclusion of vulnerable categories, mainly women and people with disabilities, through the promotion and development of income-generating activities. We carry out the project in partnership with the BASR, YWCA, and ACAD that help us to reach the aforementioned categories, as well as span throughout all of the West Bank from Jenin to Hebron. The second project we have is called Special Italy, and with this project we aim at promoting the network among the municipalities in Italy and in the West Bank. This project focuses on fostering tourism and the related industry in the Bethlehem areas. Our contribution is again focused on people with disability. In fact, with the invaluable support of our partner, LifeGate, we are training people with disability through training of vocational education training to be able to find a job in the touristic sector and connecting them to the potential employers. The most recent project began in October 2019, is called Pro-ED, is supporting the reality of a Bethlehem school with a specific focus on EFETA, the only school for deaf children in the whole bank, with equipment and furniture for the student, but most importantly, through training to help them to understand the opportunities they have at Bethlehem University as well as the municipality, to preparing them to face the job market. In addition, we will implement also in the framework of this project a series of meetings in collaboration between EFETA, students and the Youth Council of Bethlehem Municipality to help the first one to understand how they can be active and useful members of their society as well.
Now you work a lot with education. Is education the key to keeping people out of poverty?
Well, we believe that education is the real key to development of an individual and the society as well. By education, we don't only refer to the formal or informal curricular path received in school, but also we conceive education through an holistic approach, viewing the human being as a whole, paying attention to his physical, mental, cultural, and moral as well as spiritual dimension. One of the powerful quote that I would like to bring up is that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, as Mandela was saying. For us, the ultimate goal is not the bare acquisition of new expendable skills and knowledges, but we are also firmly convinced that education is a path in which the beneficiary can discover his or her talents and values, develop them according to his own abilities and self-confidence, to be then ready to impact the society around him or her.
Is the attendance rate good or bad in West Bank schools?
Well, the information we have are kind of outdated, but the World Bank in 2006 confirms that the youth literacy rate is 98.2%. And the Palestinian Center of Bureau Statistic, later in 2011, says that enrollment is very low. For the elementary is 14.2%, secondary 21.9%, and bachelor above is just 12%. The dropout rate in 2013 is 2.4 for females and also male.
Is there a lot of poverty in the West Bank and the area you working?
Indeed, the current political situation and the occupation, especially after the wall has been built, strongly impacts the everyday life of the communities we work with. The opportunities provided by the job market are very few, and with most of the land under Israeli control, there are no real possibility for the expansion of economic activities. Even in front of this situation, the strong bonds in Palestinian society often creates safety nets that are at least helpful in letting people to have a roof and share the same hopes.
Do you help with needs in crisis and emergency?
As an organization, we are not specialized in emergency. As you have understood by our vision, we believe far more in development as a long and stable process with the person at the center. Nevertheless, when emergency occur, we do not step back and lend a hand towards the communities we support. As an example, we have worked here in the Palestinian context on the educational emergency in the Jordan Valley, specifically rehabilitating school and providing education and awareness on gender-based violence.
Tell us a little bit about your work with the disabled.
First of all, we prefer to talk about people with disabilities, putting the person first and the disability as an external particular condition, since we think that the shortcomings they face are not part of their inner being, but that of an external environment unable or unready to satisfy their needs as a person. We think that the language is very important to start to think about this member of the society in a different way. This is also part of our work with them and the society as a whole to promote their rights to have the same opportunities to work and have a decent life. Our programs addressing the disability issue, which we implement in partnership with experts of the Bethlehem Arab Society of Rehabilitation, have always a strong component on advocacy and awareness raising for people with disabilities and their family first, as well as the society in general, with a focus on the companies that shall become their employers under the framework of the Economic Empowerment and Development Mission. In fact, we try to empower and equip them with tools and resources to face the job market challenges by training them to enter the formal employment market or helping them starting up small businesses. In the framework of an ongoing project, we are providing them with trainings centered on business management, followed by individual coaching sessions to design businesses and feasibility plans and study propedeutic to receive microloans to start their business activity. Indeed, for a significant part of them, the self-employment is deemed the best solution. In a year and a half, we have been able to help and support more than 80 people with disability start a business.
Wow. So you set up support projects to help people into work?
All our projects have a strong component of introduction to the job market and within the framework of economic development. We believe that the natural outcome of our idea of education should be helping people understand their role in the society, something that becomes practical and concrete through a profession. For this reason, either Mustakbaluna, Special Italy, but also Pro-AD projects have the common goal of opening real career opportunities for our beneficiaries.
Do you work to promote gender equality?
Yes, of course. Gender equality is a cross-cutting theme that we always have in our project. For example, while selecting our beneficiaries, we always make sure to have a proper balance between males and females and collect a set information on disaggregated data. In addition, the prevention of violence against women is at the core of our values and preoccupation. That is why in a past projects on the educational emergency in the Jordan Valley, we have provided school girls with appropriate training in gender-based violence.
Are there a lot of barriers to break in the West Bank?
I would say that the reality of the West Bank is pretty diversified. In general, to keeping our eyes on our core interest, disability, I can say that the barriers to be broken are many. In particular, the person with special needs is considered as someone to be hidden and unable to be of any value to the society. This happens especially in smaller rural villages, but it must be noted that things are changing fast and from the Palestinian community itself. In fact, thanks to the invaluable work of local partners like AVSI, the perception is slowly but steadily changing.
Are you making a difference in the community?
This is a very hard question because Palestine is a place where it is very difficult to see real changes compared to other contexts I work in. To do with is one of the main pillars of AVSI method, and I think that having in place valuable and solid partnerships with motivated CSO that operates to change the context is itself a way to make the difference.
Why do you do what you do?
We believe in the values of cooperation and solidarity. In a world where everyone closes doors, we firmly believe that humanity is interconnected, and we cannot simply turn the other way in front of problems. If we have had the luck of being born in a part of the world where we enjoy more access to education and resources, it is then our moral duty to share it with others, recognizing that we all share the same human experience.
What's your prayer for the future?
We hope with the bottom from our hearts that the future will bring new opportunities to the people of Palestine, starting from the idea that if we provide the tools to improve education for the young generation especially, the society successfully rebuilds itself through more awareness and strength to be more resilient.
Okay, Valentina, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the interview.